if that's the case, then we could, you know, go into a boss, apply poison, and then swap over to our sword that has lifesteal on it. Okay. Are there any hiddens that I need to worry about? Any hidden chests? Any secrets? Secret? No, it doesn't look like it. But, I mean, now that we're, you know, thinking about going the two-handed route, like, a lot of the two-handed weapons that I got, the only one that I can really think of that I spent any time... Ooh, that's a creepy image. Spent any time really thinking about was the spear. When, you know, when we're under 50% max mana, it would do double the damage. A lot of the other ones I didn't really spend any time... Ew. Any time worrying about. So we might have some weapons that I wouldn't even think about.
Who goes there? Are you here to see the children? Oh, my sweet babies. I lost them. I lost them all before they even got here.
Nope, they're definitely hanging off you.
Poor things, like dandelions in the wind.
I'd hope you'd help me get an audience with the Queen.
The Queen? She wants nothing to do with me. I failed her so terribly that she no longer wishes to see me. I've fallen so far from her good graces. But I will make it right. You'll see. I just need the children here, safe and sound. Maybe when she sees them, even as they are, she will love them just as much as I do.
You've lost the Queen's children?
My little flowers. They're all gone. Met their grim fates within these castle walls. They die and die at the hands of those who should have loved them, or through their neglect. Poor little things. They deserved so much better.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I can help you find the children. Oh, if the children were never born, then how could you have lost... Okay, no, we know the answer to that one.
You'd do that? And you won't hurt them, will you? Please, I cannot bear to hear their cries anymore. I need them close, so I can watch over them as I was meant to. If I could keep that one promise I made to my sister, perhaps then I could finally know peace.
Do you have any idea where I should start searching for the missing children?
Let me think. Renaud, the Crown Prince, loved to stand on the balcony, gazing down at the gardens, watching the legacy that will never come to be. Little Noah, covered in blood. His mother would wash him again and again, scrubbing endlessly. It feels like he rarely leaves the bathtub. Oh, and Hugo, such a sweet child, sleeping soundly in his cot, sleeping and sleeping, always and forever. He has his favorite lullaby.
Yeah, this is a creep town castle. Crown Prince was handsome and fair, beloved by all. Yeah, this is Creep Town Castle. Like, this is... I wonder if there's another way to get in here, because otherwise, why would you give me another spell that I literally just got by fighting the boss in order to get in here? Yeah, like, the game is taking a complete turn here into just complete Whackville. Okay, so I'm doing this part of the Minier Rights quest. There we go. Royal Guard for the balcony. So is this the balcony? Okay, well, something clearly opened up here. Sage! Oh. Well, hello.
He's gone. Young Prince Renard. Oh, by the gods, lost for good this time. The midwife will wring my neck with her bare hands. I can't. No, I won't go back to her like this. And the queen, she'll do worse. Much worse. Have you ever seen her angry? Hopefully not.
Do you have any idea where he might have gone?
Oh, yes, of course. Straight into the void. He stood there for a long while, just staring into the well. And then he was gone. He just stepped in like it was the most natural thing in the world.
What awaits me below?
Oh, surely you don't mean to. Oh, may the gods watch over you. Or, no, wait. Better they don't look upon someone heading into a place like that. They might feel disgusted. But I wish you luck.
Dude,
remember, everything...
I mean, I've been grossed out the whole time I'm here. What's a little bit more of being grossed out, you know? Stuff is all nasty. Is there anything else around here that I can pick up? Any cool items to find? Some sharpening stones. Yeah, I don't see much else. Oh, hang on. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. What the empty? That's bullshit. That's straight bullshit. Okay, what about back here? How are you going to give me a chest, a reinforced chest with nothing in it? Lame. Oh, frick me. Okay, let's reduce the damage instead. Yeah, that's right. Get out of my face. A white. We haven't looked at this in a long time. Every now and then someone claims to have barely escaped with their life after encountering a weird slime that turns into a white. Such tales, however, are rarely believed, and the self-proclaiming survivors are dismissed as braggarts or drunks. I mean, I made it out of there. And I didn't get anything for my troubles? What the hell? I can't even go out there. Alright, let's talk to this dude.
Did the midwife send you? Or was it that coward who's supposed to be keeping me under their heel?
Why did the thing attack me?
Don't take it personally. You're not that special. Nobody is. I just wanted you to leave me alone, but as always, everything in this house proves hopelessly useless. Any form of service, flawed and feeble. They lack competence. Next time, I'll find a deeper despair and an emptier void to hide in.
Who are you?
The firstborn of the king and queen. A proper little princeling. Almost grown. Though life has never tested me thanks to the comfort I was raised in.
Based on everything that we've heard so far, I kind of expected him to be
Why
a
I think
kid.
only of trivialities. Why I'm just a gilded youth, unable to appreciate what I have. I won't bother listing every one of my vices. Mother won't be pleased with how miserably the court servants perform their duties. She never handled disobedience well. Well then, we can skip pedagogical lectures, as I know you'll force me to return at the end. And later, I'll try to run away again.
Time to go back to the midwife.
Spare yourself the trouble. You don't have to drag me by the hand, I know the way back. The Queen's little lapdog. Phew.
And then, how do I get out of here? Wait, how do I get out of here? Actually, maybe I have to talk to this guy.
You found the young master. Joy, such great joy. I owe you a debt or two. We simple folk, we must stick together.
I am not simple.
Take this. I hope it serves you well.
Better be a sword. Eternal Guardian Seal. Increases max health by 3. Alright, we can be friends. Oh, it's an armor relic? Oh, frick you, dude. You can die. Can I just kill you right here? That was a horrible present. Now, how do I get out? Now, how do I get out? Ah, here we go. So one could be sleeping somewhere peaceful, and the other is with the servants. Well, we haven't been in here yet, so very likely one of them is going to be in here. Dude, this is all kinds of weird. This game has taken a complete 180. Is there even anything here to take? Ooh, stuff to take. Can I take that? Nope. Ooh, honey. Now that I know that I need 10 freaking honey for some good potions, now I need all the honey I can get. Oh, dude, someone mentioned in a comment on my video about getting yourself unstuck if you follow the same route that I did in Act 1. Someone mentioned that all the potions that you get, that I got by collecting 2,000 freaking ethereal cobwebs, you could get by undiplomatically ending the Bee Queen. And if that's true, oh man. I'm grumpy. I'm grumpy. If I could have just killed her and got that done. Alright, so what's going on up here? Who are you?
Boss. No, not Boss. Boss in the letters. The letters to Boss, to beloved.
I'm looking for a druidic tablet. You know anything about that?
I write only letters to Boss, to beloved. Yours, Claire, Sister has a tablet. Once she had it. Once, sister.
Where can I find your sister?
In Sagramor's arms. Once. Me in Bor's arms. Forever. Yours, Claire.
What letters?
These, all of them, I write.
Can you tell me more about them?
Letters to beloved Bors, I write. My beloved.
Did that do anything? It sounded like it updated a quest, but I didn't see anything update. Scorching Pathway. Well, I've had that for a long time. Okay, so I guess that's the payoff up here. Just those chests. Oh. I didn't even know that. I literally, if I wasn't...
Once upon a time, there lived a young maiden named Claire. She had 2 sisters, and together they resided in a resplendent castle within a land untouched by the cruelty of time. In this unchanging realm, there was neither the
Yeah, there's definitely something
endings
going on with the
nor
voice,
joy of
because like
beginnings.
when I started, this was pretty quiet, and then all of a sudden it
No
kicked the volume up.
sunsets,
I think there's some,
and no
like I said, I think
seasons
there's
to
something going on
mark
with the
the
voice
days.
balancing.
Such was the design of the eldest sister, whose insatiable hunger for control bound the kingdom in eternal
Oh
stillness.
Jesus! I didn't realize that I
She
could actually
hoarded
fight
love
here,
and devotion as a dragon hoards treasure. Yet
which
for
is
all
why I
her
didn't
power,
expect myself to take
her
damage.
heart remained empty, cursed to feel nothing for eternity. Claire, the youngest and gentlest of the sisters, moved quietly through the cold, unchanging halls. Her beauty was, too, untouched by age or hardship. Yet unlike her sisters, Claire possessed a secret, a flicker of defiance against the curse that gripped their land. Her heart remained free, protected by a force beyond even her eldest sister's reach.
True love. What is
It was the
this?
height of summer
Interstellar.
when young Bors first laid eyes on the maiden of his heart. Working in the fields, his skin bronzed by the sun, he paused as the sound of hooves drew near. A lone maiden approached, her hair shimmering like spun gold, her cheeks rosy and her waist snugly drawn into a spring green corset. While the other peasants bowed their heads, Bors stared unabashedly. Sensing his gaze, the maiden turned sharply, startling her steed. The horse reared and she tumbled from the saddle, straight into Bors's waiting arms. Their eyes met, and in that instant, the maiden felt herself lost. A warmth bloomed upon her cheeks, but a deep foreboding stirred in her stomach, for she knew there would never be another. Long ago, there lived a maiden named Claire, fair of face and gentle of heart, cursed by her cruel sister to remain imprisoned in a high tower. Forbidden to step beyond its walls or look out of the window, she spent her days
so where do we go from
weaving
here?
a tapestry of the outside world. A world she could glimpse only through the reflection in an enchanted mirror. Yet Claire dared not lift her eyes from the loom, for the curse was absolute. If she ever stopped her weaving to gaze out the window herself, the fragile thread of her life. In the days of King Sagramor, there lived Bors, a wandering minstrel whose songs were famed for their beauty and sorrow. Among his melodies was one that bore the weight of his heart, the ballad of a lady named Claire. Claire, a noblewoman of unmatched grace, had been betrayed
I go to
by
that
her
one?
jealous sister, who sold her to a rival lord for power. Locked in a distant tower, her pleas for rescue went unheard. But Bors, who had once sung for her in her father's court and fallen deeply in love, learned of her plight and vowed to save her. He journeyed to the castle where she was held and sang beneath its mist-shrouded walls each night, hoping she might
Dude, I don't know how any of this is relevant.
hear him. At last, a faint voice joined his song. Claire, I was writing some.
Let's see. You were writing Love Lovers or Boars, don't you remember?
Yes, boars.
You seem madly in love with them.
Really? I longed for my own Sacramore. I craved.
Better yet, tell me where I just went.
Here, you've read.
So you haven't seen anything strange happen to me?
Strange? No, I'm sorry.
You mentioned a sister earlier. Who is she?
My sister. I have two sisters. One older and another the eldest.
Tell me about the eldest.
She's the caregiver. She nurtures. She helps. She tries.
Ooh, 2800 XP.
Enough.
All right. I mean, I don't know what quest that was, but we got 2800 XP, so, like, let's go. Yeah, I literally have no idea what quest that was. And I can't do anything for the younger sister? Like, I don't even know what I walked into, to be fair. Like, I guess it was just this book on the ground? Can I set a bonfire? Cannot be placed in this area. Well, that's a bummer. I mean, we're going to have a bunch of points once we leave here. Man, this is a weird area. Okay, so I guess I can go down this way now. Oh, wait. No, I already came down this way. Ancestral Sphere. On critical hit applies haste. Well, haste just movement speed. If haste was attack speed, that would be pretty good. So, wants to be where the servants are. I kind of assume that's downstairs. But isn't this just a library? No. No, this is where the servants would be, right? So it actually looks like I haven't been in here. I just watched your mid-game build for Expedition 3. How are you level 46? I'm currently level 33. I did all the side content. I just went everywhere, did everything. Ugh, Jesus.
Did you kill me? I didn't want to.
That's it. Nothing special. I just played the game.
Be like that. Mum, she used to call me Little Fish sometimes when she was in a good mood, but when she wasn't, she'd call me Bastard, Misfortune, or Mistake. Once, during a bath, I cried that the water was too...
Oh, Jesus, this is fucked up. What happened to you after you died?
Then, I was here, sitting in the water, and I never cried again.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up. Hugo could be the youngest sleeping somewhere. Okay. Contemplate not going to the page cell level 3. Well, yeah, I mean, so fighting the Paintress, it's hard, honestly. It's one of those things that for me is kind of hard to give an actual like reasonable estimation of when you should fight the Paintress, because when I fought her, I just literally destroyed her. I only saw like 2 of her attacks, so I can't like fairly say. Ooh. I can't like fairly say what level is good, because like I was at the point where my Mael was pretty consistently always hitting like 10k damage. And Luna was kind of just behind her. And I could set up a pretty consistent elemental genesis most turns, or most like every other turn. So like levels definitely help. Obviously, you know, getting kills, but the fact that like my final fights, like in the grand scheme of things, looking at them, were actually not great from a like experience level, because I didn't really experience the fights. Renoir was kind of the same. Well, depending on if you've actually been there. So like you do fight Renoir again. Right, I suppose you could kind of assume that that was going to happen. And I only saw like him attack once or twice and then he was dead. So I've watched other people's playthroughs to see like what the gameplay was like and to see what the fights were like, because I just kind of missed that experience. I didn't really play that at all. Maybe I go this way? Yeah, I don't think this was open before. It's surprised you have to face her in mid-act 2. Trust me, I was as well. I'm not going to say anything more for fear of saying anything that's even... Jesus Christ. Anything that's even remotely in spoiler territory. But yes, I was very much surprised too, but trust me, it makes sense. Obviously it makes sense, right? It would be weird if it didn't make sense and everyone's raving about the game. But I thought the same exact thing. I was like, why are we fighting her now? Like, I would think, like, because I was like, that seems like an end game thing. But trust me, it'll all make sense in time. God, I don't understand that attack. Oh, because it's like circling around me or something weird. Ring of Despair. Decreases incoming damage by 20. What's the downside? What's the downside? No, dude, it has nothing about being too good. Trust me. It's literally about out-leveling the content. That's all it is. That's all it was. Basically, honestly, here's what I would suggest with having, dude, I don't understand why my MP is so high. Sorry. In all fairness, what I would, if I could go back in time and give myself advice on the game, I would probably honestly tell myself to not go into the final fights as overpowered as I was for that time, right? In terms of, like, you know, the people who are dealing like billions, and there's even someone who hit 1 trillion damage in the game. Obviously, they are overpowered compared to what I was, right? I'm not even trying to compare myself to that. But in relation to the campaign itself and where I was at that time in Act 2, I would honestly tell myself not to do all the side content. Initially I was doing it because, well, I was doing it because I wanted to collect all the Lumina, all the Pictos, and like all the weapons, stuff like that, obviously, right? Wanted to collect all that stuff and be as powerful as possible. What I didn't realize was it's really not necessary for you to gain that much extra power to be strong in the Act 2 fights. So I would actually tell myself to kind of hold off a little bit, because I think if you really like the story, right? It's one thing, like, it's hard to explain, but basically I think that having the fight draw out and actually fighting with the mechanics, having to actually battle through, having to actually struggle to win the fight, I think will make the story elements that happen around certain boss fights hit a little bit harder. Because for me, it was kind of one of those things where, you know, like, just like any boss fight where it's like, you know, everybody's teaming up together. Even, let's say you look at like Lord of the Rings, right? Aragorn charging into Mordor by himself, right? If you had a game like that, he's amping everyone up. This is like the last stand. We got to get Frodo to Mount Doom. And then all of a sudden you get into like the actual fight and he's like, jink. And then it goes back to a cutscene and everyone's bloody and beaten. It's like, that didn't really feel like a fight where everyone should be bloodied and beaten, right? So to actually get the full experience, I would actually tell myself to go back and do it slightly underpowered. So that way you get a little bit more invested in the actual story battle itself. And so when you do succeed, you can kind of get that same feeling that the characters have along the story, along their progression as well. So if you're really in love with the story, that's kind of how I would recommend doing it. Even if it's a struggle, even if it's very difficult, I would, having experienced it the way that I did, I would go back and say, don't do it as overpowered as I was. Yeah, because there's definitely a lot of side quests to do. There's a lot of side bosses, and there will be time to do it in Act 3. So, because I guess part of why I did it, because again, in hindsight, now I have an understanding of how the game works in its entirety, in its entire package. So obviously with there being an Act 3, right, you can assume that certain fights that you think are going to happen in Act 2, you know, aren't the end of the game. But I was thinking that it was, so I was like, all right, let me do everything I need to now, so that way I don't have to do it later, or if I don't have time to do it later. But you will have time to do it later. That's what I'll say. Already I've said too much. Yeah, it decreases incoming healing. Ugh. Don't like it. Don't like that. Oh, okay. That was it. Return of the Midwife. Got it. Because even you know, so for example, this is something that has nothing to do, which is that we will fight Mael. Not exactly true. I'll say that. Not exactly true. So don't worry. You didn't have... There's a piece of that you didn't get spoiled. So you should be happy with that fact. Again, I will say nothing more. But like, you know, for example, I'm sure that you've seen... I'm guessing that you have Endless Tower. You know, like that's kind of like post-game content, and it has nothing to do with the story, so I hope I'm not stepping over by mentioning that. But yeah, good call. But yeah, like Endless Tower is just kind of, I mean, you can see it on the map. You just, I mean, you can even, I think you can even get to it. No, you can't get to it, but you've probably seen it. The Mortal Kombat thing? Perhaps. I mean, Endless Tower is basically just all fights. It's literally a tower, and you just go in, you do a fight, you know, you finish that level, you go in through another fight. There's not really anything story connected. It's just kind of like, can you do boss roulette? Is kind of what it is. And again, it was kind of one of those things where when I played it, it was just kind of like, I expected it to take like 4 or 5 hours. It took me like 30 minutes because I just kind of brainlessly went through it because my characters were too strong.
They are here.
Yeah, I've never played Mortal Kombat personally. I feel like I remember there being watching some kind of like tower-based fights.
I should have tried so hard
But
to bring you
yeah,
into
that's
this
kind of like
world.
your post-game,
Now,
like let's
we can
test
set
my
you
skills
free.
type thing.
You will help us, won't you, stranger?
And I don't know if they're planning... I kind of hope that they do plan on adding on to it. There were some... It was one of those things where, like, you go in and there's just, like, a tablet, basically, right? It's kind of like your interface, because obviously there's no, like, computers in this world, right? So it's just an interface, so that way you can select what level you want to fight. But there's other interfaces around. So I was like... Were they planning on adding like some extra content or something? I don't know. I know that they've said that like right now they've said in interviews that they haven't thought about any like DLC or anything like that plans, but with how successful they're doing, I don't know if they'll get anything, because I don't think if the way that they could add on to Endless Tower, I don't actually think would take that long. Because of how it's set up, you can use content that's already in the game and just kind of restructure it. That I don't think that would take that long to push out. Maybe a couple months. Story-wise, yes. If they put new like DLC like story content, yeah, I think that would take a little bit more
My
time for
sister's
sure.
reign must end.
Especially
It's
with
brought
the
us
quality they
horror
would want
upon
to,
horror, all because
they
of
would
her
want to put
fear
into it.
and
It would be,
obsession. She
it'd be a real shame. It'd be a real shame. You have a game as good as Expedition 33, and then they're like, hey, here's our first DLC, and was not good. Whoa. That is a name that I have not seen for a while. Rapath. How you doing, bud? How you doing, bud? It's been a minute. Oh, yeah, it's been quite a while. Yeah, recently back on Twitch. I've been over on YouTube for probably the past, like, year. Mostly doing just videos. Only streaming for the past, I don't know, like 2 or 3 months? 2 or 3 months? Getting back into the streaming. But for, the previous year, I've just been doing, just video content. But yeah, how you doing? How you been? What am I doing? What is my quest here? What is my quest? Oh, I should speak to the custodian. I kind of killed that guy earlier. Oh,
Hello,
never mind.
my lady. Are you ready for your audience with the king and queen?
I certainly am.
As you wish. Here is the most precious of all keys. It will open the doors leading to the throne room. Oh, and you might have an occasion to see the royal chapel. Please, don't forget us. Damned for all eternity.
God, this place is so weird. And the custodian gave me the chapel key as my way into... Oh. I use this to get into the chapel, and this will get me into the throne room? Oh, this is the servant. I knew that. I knew that. Yeah, I'm so confused on what's increasing my mana. I don't get it. Oh, hang on. I need to throw new potions on. These potions are too weak. That one's fine. Do I have any better mana potions? I should probably actually make some more mana potions. I've been really slacking on the mana potions. It's my bee buddy!
You have been noticed. I was chosen to extend you an
Actually, maybe not. This is more of a mushroom head.
First, you must let me show you something beautiful. The mycelium. Do you agree?
No. I don't want to.
I won't.
Oh, wait. Hang on. Let's save. In case it's something really weird.
Go. Go.
Ah, son of a... How long ago was this? Oh, only a minute ago. Okay. I want to see what it is. If it's something cool, then I want it. But this thing was freaky.